Hi, this is Ben from SSW, and I'm here to tell you about the latest changes we've made to the Visual Studio Team Services extension for TimePRO. There's a bunch of cool new changes in there, but I'd also like to tell you about the vision or the dream we have for this extension. And that's how we're going to collect all this data and how we're going to feed it back into the product so that you can actually get meaningful results from all the timesheets you're collecting. Now, we're constantly updating this extension to make it easier and better to use. And what better way to demonstrate this to you than to just take a look at it? All right, enhance. So firstly, you can see the UI changes we've made, and you probably noticed the big ass X that's right here. That's just to let you know you haven't done your timesheets for today. And as a developer, it's just as simple as reviewing the commits. Yep, I've done plenty of them for today, and just hitting add timesheet. It's going to spin away and then come back with a yay or nay once it's done. There you go. That was a cool little animation. And I know that I'm going to be on site tomorrow, so I'm just going to put on site because I know I'm going to forget to do my timesheet tomorrow if I do that. So I'm just going to add it there with this little extra notes drop down functionality. There we go. I've got my 2 timesheets for today. You can see we've added the logo, a quick link to rules to better timesheets, and a few other niceties like a smaller hours box and the title of the project that is in TimePRO at the top here, just so you absolutely know what you're doing. And if I jump over to TimePRO and just refresh the page, here you can see that I've got our 2 timesheets for today. And if I actually go in and look at them, you can see that the notes for all the commits have been added to the bottom of the notes section there. And so it's going to turn up on the invoice. Now, this is all pretty well and good. Like, we can track commits, and that's really quite nice. And in the Git world, if we go back to last week, you can see that there are plenty of commits and also pull requests. And it's with the pull requests that we can link the work items. That's the only way you can do it in the Git world here. And what this means, and this is really the second phase of this extension, is that we can then track all of the commits and how much hours have been spent against them. And then we can track the pull requests once they're finally added. And so we can see all the commits for a pull request and then all the work items linked to a pull request. And what this lets us do is it lets us track hours spent per work item, essentially. We can divvy it up, just average it out, or be a little bit smarter in future perhaps. But what this lets us do is something pretty exciting. It means we can report back how much dollars was spent per PBI. And what we can do is in the PBI itself, we can have a little section just underneath the status here that says, okay, Ben spent 12 hours on this and Shigemi spent 3. And you can start to see how much money is being spent per PBI. Now we can make this even better if we make use of the features section at the top here. So we can group our PBIs and start to see how much each feature is costing us. And this is a little bit of a benefit for the product owner. They start to see some visibility over where the money is going. Now we can make it one better again by having a smarter estimation tracking. And what this lets us do is it lets us start to use all of the story points or whatever form of estimation you like to use. And if we take a look at the group modules one here, you can see we've got effort 8. Now what we can do is we can start to track all of the dollars that went into that 8 points. And so then in future, when an 8 points PBI comes up, we can say, that's going to cost roughly this. And if we break it down per point, we can start to estimate all of our PBIs, no matter how much effort they have marked against them. Now, as a project matures and it goes on, and estimation is done consistently, the product owner can really start to get a feel for how many dollars are correlated with how many story points or other form of estimation. And I think that's a really, really cool and beneficial thing for the product owner. And that's the latest. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, be sure to post them in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.